To the Foot from Its Child by Pablo Neruda. The child's foot is not yet aware it's a foot, and would like to be a butterfly or an apple. The poem begins with innocence. The child's foot is unaware of its identity, function, or limitations. It dreams freely. It doesn't yet know it must walk, bear weight, suffer pain. Instead, it wants to be things full of beauty and lightness. A butterfly, symbol of freedom, transformation, or an apple, symbol of sweetness, ripeness, desire. This is Neruda capturing the unformed hopes of childhood. The foot is a stand-in for the self. Before life teaches us who we are, we dream in impossible directions. But in time, stones and bits of glass, streets, ladders, and the paths in the rough earth go on teaching the foot that it cannot fly, cannot be a fruit bulging on the branch. Life begins its lessons. As the child grows and walks, the foot encounters sharp stones, glass, hard streets, steep ladders, and uneven earth. These aren't just literal, they're metaphors for hardship, learning, pain, and limitations. The world teaches the foot and the person that it can't be whatever it wants. It's not made for flight or fantasy. This is disillusionment. The imagination hits reality. We lose parts of our childhood wonder, not in one big moment, but slowly, over time. Then the child's foot is defeated, falls in the battle, is a prisoner condemned to live in a shoe. The foot once free is now defeated. This is the moment it gives up the illusion of freedom. Neruda calls it a prisoner, trapped inside a shoe. Shoes here aren't just footwear. They represent the rigid structures of society. Conformity, discipline, expectations. The child's dreams have been constrained, domesticated. The line "falls in the battle" suggests that growing up is not just sad, but a kind of surrender. Bit by bit in that dark, it grows to know the world in its own way, out of touch with its fellow, enclosed, feeling out life like a blind man. In the shoe, this dark, confining space, the foot begins to adapt. It learns the world not through vision or freedom, but through limited blind experience. It feels life, not sees it. This is how many of us grow, through slow, confined, often painful lessons. Out of touch with its fellow, the foot is alienated from other feet, or perhaps from the rest of the self. There's a loneliness in this growing. These soft nails of quartz, bunched together, grow hard and change themselves into an opaque substance, hard as horn. The foot transforms. Once soft and translucent like quartz, the nails harden into horn. This is the body adjusting to suffering, building armor. It's physical and emotional. What was once sensitive now becomes tough and dull. It's a survival mechanism. Neruda is quietly mourning the loss of tenderness. And the tiny petaled toes of the child grow bunched and out of trim, take on the form of eyeless reptiles with triangular heads, like worms. This is one of the poem's most grotesque and tragic images. The petaled toes are a beautiful metaphor for softness and delicacy, become bunched, deformed, and reptilian. They resemble eyeless reptiles or worm-like creatures associated with decay and blindness. The foot is no longer a symbol of wonder. It's become something ugly, functional, and sad. This is what happens to the spirit under long pressure. Later they grow calloused and are covered with the faint volcanoes of death, a coarsening hard to accept. The foot continues its journey into adulthood and old age. Calluses represent overuse, endurance, and time. The phrase volcanoes of death is deeply metaphorical, suggesting aging, wear, and the approach of mortality. Neruda uses geological imagery to show the slow erosion and hardening of the body and the spirit. But this blind thing walks without respite, never stopping for hour after hour. Despite all this pain and transformation, the foot keeps moving. It does not stop, doesn't ask questions. It obeys. This speaks to the relentlessness of daily life, of human routine. Even in blindness and weariness, we keep going. Neruda draws us into a kind of existential treadmill. We are creatures of motion, regardless of clarity or choice. The one foot, the other, now the man's, now the woman's, up above, down below, through fields, mines, markets, and ministries. This foot's journey is shared by all. Man, woman. Rich, poor. It travels across all terrains, fields, nature, mines, labor, markets, commerce, and ministries, power, bureaucracy. This line paints life as a vast, repetitive space where all feet move forward under duty, toil, or obligation. The foot becomes the symbol of the common human journey. Backwards, far afield, inward, forward, this foot toils in its shoe, scarcely taking time to bear itself in love or sleep. The motion isn't even purposeful, it's chaotic. We go backwards, inward, forward, sometimes far away from meaning. The foot scarcely gets rest or intimacy. Even in love or sleep, the body often remains bound or exhausted. This is Neruda's quiet indictment of modern life. We are overworked, disconnected from pleasure and rest. It walks, they walk, until the whole man chooses to stop. And then it descended underground, unaware, for there, everything was dark. The body continues until death, until the whole man chooses to stop. Then the foot, like the rest of us, is buried. It descends into the ground, not knowing where it's going, unaware because death is unknowable. There is no light in this experience. The poem quietly shifts from the personal to the universal. We all end this way. It never knew it had ceased to be a foot, or if they were burying it so that it could fly, or so that it could become an apple. The final lines return to the dream of the child, the longing to be a butterfly or an apple. Even in death, the foot does not know whether it's ending or transforming. Neruda ends with ambiguity. Is death final, or is it the return to the freedom we once imagined? The dream might survive the body. The spirit might still become something beautiful. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching.